You're tuned in to Floridian Rollo. I'm your host, Floridian Rollo, and I'm coming at you with another video. So without further ado, we're going to listen to a content creator go by the name of Cannon Corey of his return to DC. So he has some things he has to tell us. So we're going to do it this way. Let me get it situated. Let me get the content ready. Give me 1 second because we're going through the advertising. Hold on, let me rewind it back. Here we go.
What are we doing? I came back home to DC
Okay.
expecting the sun to be shining, that it was gonna be flowers and just people walking around in sundresses. I thought it was gonna be sundress season. I thought it was gonna be warm outside.
Right.
Cause where I just came from, it was like 80 degrees every day. The people minded.
He's talking about 80 degrees every day out there in LA. Well, it was not 80 degrees every day in LA. The point is he's using the Anton. They're talking about the temperatures I talk about, 80 degrees. Let's continue.
On my nerves. And there's a lot of pollen and stuff going on. But I can deal with that for 80 degrees. Why is it that I didn't came home? Mind you, it's literally like April 13th right now. And I just checked the weather. And it literally says it's 52 degrees, but it feels like 44. What are we doing? I'm so
Now I got these guys checking the weather on their phone now. I got these guys checking the weather on the phone. You'll hear the dogs in the background more likely. All right, let's go.
disappointed in DC right now. I may seriously need to start considering another place to live because I'm tired of going on vacations, work trips, everywhere. Everyone's warm right now. Everybody's chilling. Everybody's enjoying their life.
Not everywhere is warm, Cannon Corey. What he's saying is, man, that Florida is always warm. Now, other places are starting to warm up here and there, not compared to Florida, though. Okay? That's what he's really saying. Let's go.
We didn't walk outside, but what we do? We all on social media talk about how cold it still is outside. Why is it this cold in April? I can understand if it was like in the 60s and consistently in the 60s, but bruh, why does it feel like 44 degrees outside? Anyways, I rest my case. This video is not about the weather. This video is about what dating has been like in 2025 thus far. Being that it's almost, I guess you could say, a quarter of the year has gone by. What have we learned? Let me start off by saying this. I went.
What have you learned is the question, not what we have learned. If the people decide to post what they have learned about the dating scene in 2025, in your comment section is one thing. What have you learned? Let's go.
To a Baltimore Orioles game yesterday. I was hanging out with a group of my friends that I hadn't seen in a while. I haven't seen anybody in a while because I've been gone for a month in LA. If you guys haven't been keeping up with me, I was gone in LA for 30 days because my agency is a part of like the emergency relief that's happening over there in LA. Anyways, I was hanging out with a group of friends and I was asking one of my successful
What's going on,
single
man? All right?
guy friends, what's been going on with him, and because I noticed that he's also not dating, just like how I'm not dating. So I was asking him like, so what's up with his like love, like what's going on with him, and he was just telling me like he just doesn't want to date. He just doesn't simply even want to. I guess in his specific scenario, his last relationship was he was dating a woman who was very successful, and even though we're all successful, let's put it this way, where all of us are doing pretty good in our lives, she was doing even better than he was, like upwards of 200,000 plus per year. But
I mean, these ladies is getting to it. These ladies is getting to it. It's not to say the men can't get to it. It is what it is. These ladies is getting to it. You shouldn't be surprised. Let's go.
right? And apparently, I guess he was just saying it hasn't just been working out with him. And it's not that he wasn't giving it a try, but he was just saying like the mentality wasn't there. He was also saying that she wasn't being feminine in their relationship. It was just like a lot of like things out of whack in their relationship, and he was already.
Why is you saying that she wasn't being feminine? What is it that he's doing or what makes her don't want to be feminine around him? Because I've been with ladies who are quote unquote making 6 figures, 7 figures, close to 8 figures, and they was being feminine around me. So it has nothing to do with how much money a woman make. It has nothing to do with that. What is he doing that's transpiring her not to be feminine with him? And she could be feminine with other men if that's what she's doing. Guys don't want to talk about that. Let's go.
kind of like done with relationships before he met her, but then he started to give her a chance, thinking that, well, you know, don't knock it till you try it, right? Because you know, a lot of women always talk about men are afraid of women who are independent or women who got their own stuff together or whatever. But
No, 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 no. See, we got to get out that cliche. Oh, because a woman makes more money than you, that she can't be feminine. That's a lie. That is a lie. That is a lie. It depends on you and what you preserve to her. I've seen ladies that got their own businesses feminine to their husband. Their husband is doing pretty good of what he perceived to want to get involved in and what she get involved in. Man, this is excuse talk. Let's go.
I don't think they realize that like what it is that a man wants. Men want women who are feminine, and I think when the more independent you become, sometimes it's easy for like the masculine role or masculine side of yourself to kind of push out further.
The women don't want to be masculine. They have to have a certain trait about them to do certain things because the man don't want to pursue greatness. Okay? His true potential greatness. All right, let's go.
And be the first thing someone has to deal with versus, you know, having that soft touch in like a woman's world or whatever. So he was dealing with basically a woman who's just not feminine, and it was starting to make him feel like, why am I dating her? What, she clearly doesn't want anything from me or need anything from me. I also met her too. I used to see them date, and she seemed pretty nice, pretty cool. I didn't see anything necessarily wrong with her, but I was on the outside looking in. He was the one that actually had to live that life. So I'm saying that to say that I get it, man. Our generation, these millennial generations, these millennial relationships, we're in trouble, okay? Because I haven't had kids yet.
Why are you saying you're in trouble? Why are you pushing fear on yourself, Cannon Corey? Why you continuously push fear? If you want to get out of the situation you in, you can get out of the situation you in. You say you work for a Pacific contract to where you could be anywhere in the States or anywhere in the world. So what's your excuse? I don't want to hear excuses.
My boy hasn't had kids yet. The girl he was dating, people aren't having kids because they're not having relationships correctly. And there's a lot of us still who refuse to just like go make a baby mama or just go have a baby with someone just because. Like, that's not cool. Even though I know some people are still having kids, it's just but it seems like the majority of our generation, we're more focused on surviving. Everyone wants to live and survive more than they care about trying to be in a relationship with somebody. That's sad, in my opinion. I feel like it's a little sad. But realistically,
Cannon Corey, you got these different ladies that you link up with, that you deal with, that don't have a man, and they willing to get up with you, link up with you. That's a start. Start having more connections like that. I don't want to hear about this single stuff. You're not single, dude. You're talking to women. There's opportunities there. It's not like you don't know how to talk to women and engage with women. You got to tell these young men, look, man, at the end of the day, go out there, do your thing. Focus on making sure your health is on point. Have a relationship with the Most High. Focus on your health. Take care of your business. Everything will speak for itself. Like I said, I've been with ladies who were 6 figures, 7 figures, close to 8 figures, and it was feminine. The reason why it didn't work out, you may ask, Rollo, is because I was doing my thing at the same time. They didn't see the full potential there all the way. And they didn't disrespect me by walking away. They say, hey, Rollo, we got to let you do your thing. And if you do your thing, we don't want to be in the way. They had a respectable situation. And when I look back at that, that's the best thing they ever told me. Of course, I didn't want them to be out of my life, not because of what they making. It's because it was feminine. They showed me a lot of things. They put me on to a lot of things that was helping me out, showing me things I was not privy to. So I appreciate that. See, this is the thing, Corey. You're around people that's doing things, man. Yo, put that as an add-on and stop being afraid of taking the next step. Let's go.
How do we start to get to a point where we can change this stuff? Because I don't know, man. I'm back here in DC now. One thing I can say is there was a major difference between living in DC and LA, as I expected it should. And one thing I can say about DC is coming back here, I can now start to appreciate the variety of women that I see here. It's a much healthier variety of women here in DC than I saw when I was in Los Angeles. In Los Angeles,
He said there's a more healthy prerogative in DC than what he saw in LA. Let's see what he says about LA.
it was basically like two types of women out there. When I say types, I mean like not to like talk about races or anything like that, but I only saw white and Asian women.
I'm probably the only person online who shares every.
Hold on, let me lower the volume down. He said he only saw quote unquote white and Asian women in LA. Hold on. Let's continue.
I didn't really see anything else. Just literally just running into normal, and I was really active in that city a lot, going back and forth between the Palisades, the Pasadena, and downtown. I was all around the city, and I kept seeing the same thing everywhere I went, and it started making me think like, what is up with that? But now that I'm back here in DC, just me going to the grocery store earlier and getting this parfait that I got, I must have ran into I don't know how many black women, and they were actually pretty cute, actually, to be honest with you. So I'm starting to realize maybe DC does have the baddies out here. Maybe they really are out here. Maybe they're just waiting for the sun to come out, and everybody been inside during the winter months and everything. The whole point that I'm trying to get to is I think ultimately I want to try to get back into a mindset where I feel like I could date or think about dating, but it's just so hard. I love my peace. Like, I do have a great time here in my apartment by myself. I don't feel lonely. Like, if I feel lonely, I just hang out with friends, you know?
We'll do a part 2 to this. Stay tuned. This is Floridian Rollo signing off. The person that you heard say what's up to me is the person that runs the house. You dig what I'm saying? So I said salute to him. So you heard him in the background. Anyway, Brown royalty to the people. We the business.